Bill Gates. When I was a kid, the distant we worried about Moscow's nuclear war. That's why we had barrel this of pilot with cans of food and water. When the nuclear attack comes, we must support to downstairs, hunker down, and get out of barrel. Today, the greater risk of global catastrophe doesn't look like this instances, it looks like this. If anything kills over 10 million people in the next 50 decades, it's most likely to be a head infection virus rather than a war. No measures but promise. How part of the reason for this hug among the nuclear terrorists, but we actually invested very little in system to stop an academic. We are not ready for the next academic. Let's look Ebola. I'm so passionate about this in newspaper. Those are challenge. I followed is careful of the case analysis tools we used to for tradition.
And as you look at what went
And as a
on,
look at
the
whether
problem wasn't
the
that
problem
there was a
was
system
system
that
that
didn't
work
work well enough.
well not.
The problem was
This
that we
problem
didn't
was that
have
we didn't
a
have a
system at
system
all.
at all.
In fact, there are some pretty
In fact,
obvious
there's some pretty
key missing
different key
pieces.
missing ways.
We didn't have a
Like
group
a
of
group of human
epidemiologists ready to
ready to
go
go
who would
when
have
we have
gone,
to go.
seen what the disease
Action
was,
with
seen how
no
far it
as
had
well
spread.
since
The
how
case
far it's
reports came in on
because
paper.
one
It was
count
very delayed before they were
is
put
more than
online, and they were
fundamental.
extremely
It's
inaccurate.
crumbles.
We didn't have a medical
We
team ready to
didn't
go.
have
We didn't
medical
have a way of preparing people.
it's way
Now,
traveling people
Medicine Sans
and how
Frontières
much
did a
can
great
we
job
get job
orchestrating volunteers, but even so,
but
we were
even then
far
we are
slower than we
following
should
that
have been
for
getting the thousands of workers into
getting
these
the thousands
countries.
without
And a large epidemic would
large
require us to
academic
have
have to
hundreds
handle
of thousands
thousands of
of
workers.
workers. There was no one there to
Small
look
and
at treatment
the
approaches,
treatment approaches.
no one to look at the
No one look at
diagnostics, no one to figure
no
out
one to
what
figure
tools
out
should be
how
used.
tools
As
be
an
used.
example,
As
we could have
example,
taken the blood of
against the
survivors,
blood
processed it, and put
percent
that
the
plasma back
plasma
in people to
in
protect
people
them.
to protect
But
them.
that was never
But
tried.
it was never tried.
So there was a lot that was
So there
missing.
were a
And
lot that's
these things are
and
really a
the
global
early
failure.
global but
The WHO is
who
funded to
was is
monitor
one
epidemics, but not to
of
do these things I talked about.
things talking about.
Now, in the movies,
How
it's
it
quite different.
is quite different.
There's a group of
The
handsome
have
epidemiologists
played it.
ready to go. They move in,
They
they
find
save the
they said
day,
they
but that's just pure Hollywood. The failure to prepare could allow the next epidemic to be dramatically more devastating than Ebola.
Ebola.
Let's look at the progression of Ebola over this year.
For this year.
About 10,000
About
people died,
10,000 people
and
died.
nearly all were in
And
the
nearly
three
all
West
the
African
three
countries.
African
There's
countries.
three reasons
There
why it
is
didn't
three
spread more.
somewhat
The first is there was a lot of
First
heroic
is
work
there
by the
was a
health
lot
workers.
of heroic
They
work
found the people and they prevented more
these
infections.
people. And
The second is the
the
nature of the
second is
virus.
matter of the
Ebola does not spread
Ebola
through
does
the air.
not spread that
And by the
air.
time you're
And where
contagious,
did
most people are so sick that they're bedridden.
that better?
Third,
Third,
it didn't
get
get into many urban areas, and that was just luck. If it had gotten into a lot more urban areas, the case numbers would have been much larger. So next time we might not be so lucky. You can have a virus where people feel well enough while they're infectious that they get on a plane or they go to a market. The source of the virus could be a natural epidemic like Ebola, or it could be bioterrorism. And so there are things that would literally make things 1,000 times worse. In fact, let's look at a model of a virus spread through the air like the Spanish flu back in 1918. So here's what would happen. It would spread throughout the world very, very quickly. And you can see there's over 30 million people die from that epidemic. So this is a serious problem. We should be concerned. But in fact, we
but
can
in
build
fact,
a really
with
good
a
response
really
system.
good response
We
system,
have the benefits of
we
all the
have
science
we
and
have the
technology
benefit
that
of
we
all,
talk about here. We've got cell
and
phones
we
to get
got
information from the public and get information
information
out to them.
from the
We have
public
satellite maps where we
from the
can see where
settlement
people are and
and
where they're
see
moving.
where people
We
are
have advances in
we
biology
have been
that
practicing
should
biology
dramatically
that
change the
remedy
turnaround time to
that
look at a pathogen and be able to make drugs and vaccines that fit for that
fit
pathogen.
for that.
So we
So
can
we
have
can
tools, but those tools need to be
but the
put
tools need
into
to
an overall global health
global health
system,
system.
and we need preparedness.
We need
The
practice
best lessons, I think, on how to get prepared are, again, what we do for war.
for
For soldiers, we
so
have full
children full
time
time waiting
waiting
to
to
go.
go. We have reserves
We
that can
have
scale us up to
reserves
large
that's
numbers. NATO has a mobile unit
NATO has
that can
mobile
deploy
unit
very rapidly.
developed very
NATO does a lot of war
so
games to
there's
check
a
are
lot
people
of
well
wars game
trained?
to check
Do they
people
understand about
do
fuel and
understand
logistics and the same radio
somebody
frequencies? So they are absolutely ready
so
to
they
go.
are always ready
So
to
those
go.
are the kinds of things
So
we
to
need
get in
to deal with an epidemic. What are the key pieces? First
this
is we need
first we get
strong
health
health
system.
systems in poor countries. That's where
Is
mothers
very
can give
funny
birth
and give
safely,
birth
kids can
safely.
get all their vaccines,
Kids can
but
get help.
also where we'll
Also,
see
well,
the outbreak
break
very early on. We need a medical
we
reserve
need
corps,
medical
lots of people who
certificate
have got the
lots
training and
of what's
background who are
going
ready to
on
go with
who
the
are ready
expertise.
to go with
And then we need to pair
and
those
then
medical people with the military, taking advantage of the military's ability
advance
to
of
move
military
fast, do logistics, and secure areas.
and
We
security
need to do
we need those
simulations, germ games, not war
games
games,
not to
so that
go
we
as
see
far.
where the
You
holes
see
are.
where the holes are.
The last time a
This
germ
time
game was
the
done in the
game
United States
is
was back in 2001,
2001
and it didn't go
and
so
it
well.
got so well.
So far, the score is
That's
germs
what is
1,
turn one
people
equal
0.
to 0.
Finally,
So
we
what
need lots of advanced R&D in areas of
increase
vaccines
of
and
it and
diagnostics. There
diagnostic.
are
There
some
are
big
some big
breakthroughs like
breakthroughs like
adeno-associated virus that could
adenovirus
work very, very
that's
quickly.
go very very quickly.
Now, I don't have an exact budget
I
for
don't
what this
have
would cost,
a budget
but I'm
for
quite
this,
sure it's
but
very
I could.
modest
It's
compared
very
to the
modest
potential
compared
harm.
to the
The
medical
World Bank estimates that
work
if we
well
have a
estimate
worldwide
that
flu
we
epidemic,
have a
global
worldwide
wealth will go down
global
by over $3 trillion,
after the
and we'd have millions and
and
millions
have
of
millions and
deaths.
millions of dead.
These investments
Different
offer
of
significant benefits beyond
benefits
just being ready for the
beyond
epidemic.
just being
The
ready to
primary health care, the
from
R&D, those things would reduce global health
if you are
equity
thinking
and make the
of
world more just as well as more safe.
and just as
So I think this should absolutely be a priority. There's no need to panic. We don't have to hoard
we don't
cans of spaghetti or go down into the
spaghetti
basement,
or go
but we
down
need to get going because
and
time is not
because
on our
it's
side.
not
In fact, if there's one positive thing that can come out of the Ebola epidemic, it's that it can serve as
it's
an
that
early
is
warning,
first and
a wake-up call to